3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to On the Needle, and we have arrived at another Friday. So happy Friday, and I hope everyone has a great weekend planned ahead. So let's get right into it. So Tupac is one of my favorite artists, period. And I would say that in terms of rap, he is my favorite. I feel like there are other rappers who are maybe more lyrically witty or lyrically complex, may even have a better flow than him, to be honest. But I think the thing that resonates so much with Tupac and his connection with other people is the way that you can feel his emotions through a song. You know, he can do from Baby Mama to California Love to How Do You Want It to Brenda's Got a Baby. I mean, any spectrum, he can hit it and just knock it out of the park. That's just my opinion. But, and in a way where we really haven't seen that much since his death and even since he first came on the scene in the early 90s. So this is the only Tupac album I have on vinyl, Me Against the World. So this is one of his classics. So you can see the track list in here. So some really, really big songs came out of this album. So this was first released in 1995. Really big year for music. R&B was big. I feel like the mid-90s was a time when every genre really shined, because you also had around that time, you had Korn, you had Smashing Pumpkins. They were really huge. You had Hootie and the Blowfish were big. REM. You had, Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, TLC, of course, Biggie, Biggie too. I mean, it was just, there was so much room, I felt, for everybody to shine back then. So this album, Crazy, is almost 30 years old at this point. But let's get into this track listing. So Dear Mama, of course, everybody knows that song. It's like the hood Mother's Day song, a little bit. Can You Get Away is one of my favorites. I hate that that one wasn't a single. And it's rumored that that song was actually about Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC. So they had a pretty strong connection. I don't think they ever really dated, but I don't know if he was saying, can you get away, in terms of what she was dealing with Andre Rosin. That was kind of around the same time as The Fire, maybe about a year or two after. So I don't know, but love that song. That's one of my favorites, Tupac, period. So Many Tears, love that one too. That little harmonica is kind of eerie, but it's like really cool at the same time. Temptations, love that, which Jada Pinkett was in the video for that. Love that music video. So those were really the singles from this album. Really, really big singles. Well, Can You Get Away wasn't a single, but Dear Mama, So Many Tears, and Temptations, those three songs alone carried this album for more than a year. So I really kind of missed that era of music where when someone released an album and they released a single, the single had staying power. It lasted for a long time. If I'm being honest, the album that I can think of as far as in the hip hop or R&B realm that has done that recently, I would say would be Renaissance. That album is more than a year old. But even with that, I feel like the tour revamped that album. But back in the day, Tupac was doing that, just making headlines, like, doing things. I think he had got shot right before this album came out the first time. And it was just sheerly off of the music, So not a lot of frills here with the inside copy of this, or photo artwork, whatever you want to call it. I will say, when I was younger, I used to want some glasses like this. I always used to think these glasses were so dope. And it's funny because they're kind of like coming back in style. Now you see a lot of people's glasses look like that. So there's track listing here. I love Tupac, and I really do like this album. And I'm going to say something that I feel like is maybe an unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of people sort of herald this album as one of the best ones in his catalog. And it is really good. I do love it. I will say though, there are about half of the songs that I wouldn't really just vibe to on a regular basis. So I wouldn't classify this album as a no skip album. But when you think about it, I think that's the mystery, and that's what people love about Tupac, is that he made music that you can't really just ride in the car to every day. I feel like Biggie's music was more so of an everyday sound. Even then with him, I feel like he even had pockets where you had to be in certain moods to listen to specific songs. But this album, I feel like, as classic as it is, I don't listen to it that often. But when I do listen to it, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one, you know. So I'm curious to know what you all's thoughts are about this album, Tupac's Me Against the World. What is your thought of, as far as the track listing, any favorites that you have on here, any songs that you felt like should have been singles that weren't singles? Really curious to know that. And yeah, so hey, oh, and this is the first, I would be remiss if I didn't say this, but this is the first on the needle of the new year. So Happy New Year, everyone. It's been a few days, about a week or so to be exact, since I've done this video. So Happy New Year to you all. Hopefully it's a very prosperous 2024. And please don't forget, on the sister channel, the Water Bearer Podcast, we are kicking off season 4 in just under 2 weeks. So on January 18th, we will have the new episode, which will be the season 4 premiere. So don't you miss it. It'll be that Thursday, the 18th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Peace.